All right, welcome back to Bash is Magic. No, it's not. An introduction to the command line for Mac OS and Linux. Here in part 5, we're going to look at how to read and write files using some simple built-in tools, cat, more, and then some more advanced tooling that's still built into our terminal, Vim and Nano. So let's go ahead and go over to our terminal. Here I have a few files that I've already created. Now to read these files, I have a few options I can use. The first option I could use is cat. Cat means concatenate. Just simply concatenate the entire file's contents onto the screen. So if I look at something very short, like my text1 file here, I will see it says hello world. That's all I wrote in there. It's also useful for things that are slightly longer, like let's look at my poem here. Poem. And there we go, two roads diverging in yellow woods. That's a pretty short poem, so it all fits on the screen. But what happens if we cat something a lot longer? Like I'm gonna look at a script here that I borrowed off the internet. Yes, in fact, I have copy pasted the entire script to Star Wars here in one file. Now you can see this is really long and very impractical, and I have to scroll all the way back up at the top to figure out what's going on. So instead, let's clear the screen. That's where I can use this other tool called more. And more will show me just what fits on the screen, one chunk at a time. So I like the script again. There we see I'm at the top, A New Hope. This is the revised fourth draft. And I can simply hit enter to go down one line at a time, or I can hit the space bar to go down page at a time. And there are, of course, additional tools that I can use within more. A cousin to more is less, and that is, and it does pretty much the same thing. The Q to get out of that. The Q for quit. All right, so clear the screen again. Now, how do we actually manipulate the text inside of these files? Well, there's a couple tools built in. The first is Vim, which you can also get to by typing VI. Let's look at the manual really quick for Vim. Vim is VI improved or Vi improved, depending on how you pronounce it. A lot of options to it. It is not the most intuitive program in the world to learn. There's not a lot of prompting to tell you how to use the tool. You simply are expected to know how to use it. So let's hit quit to get out of that. Let's go ahead and manipulate that text1 file with Vim. So text in there. You see there's hello world. And if I push left and right, well, I'm kind of trapped here because I'm in command mode. By default, you start in command mode. So I can hit I to insert new characters, and then it behaves as expected. A lot of people get trapped at this point because, well, how do we get out of insert mode? Well, if you hit escape, that'll put it back into command mode. Now we can hit a colon, which means here's the command I want you to perform them, and we can do a few things like Q, which would just quit out of here, write, which will actually write to the file, or combine them like WQ, write and then quit. Now that that's done, let's use cat to, since it's a very small file, to see, oh, there's the changes I've made using Vim. But where VI really shines is when you're looking at longer documents that you need to find things in and manipulate things like large programs. It's a really powerful tool for that. So let's go ahead and run VI again through script. And here we are. I can simply say a slash, and then I was looking for the Princess Leia. The first mention of princess is right there. It's already highlighted for us. If I want to find the next one, I will hit the N to simply find the next instance. Shift N will go back in time. Capital N will move back. Regular N, well, a lowercase n will move me forward. And then I can just insert here and the princess. And now I've altered Star Wars. All right, so I don't actually want to save that. So let's just hit escape and then just Q and then a bang or exclamation mark to go ahead and just force quit out of that. And let's not save any of those changes. Now, Vim is probably the least intuitive of the text editors. No matter how powerful it is, it's only so powerful if you can actually use it. There are alternatives, my favorite being Nano. Nano is a clone of something called Pico, which is what I first used when I was learning how to program computers back in college. But Nano Let's go ahead and manipulate our text1 file. Um, you can see immediately, well, this is a much more intuitive user interface. I can simply move my mouse around, our cursor around, and start typing. Uh, Up and down, I can do things like cut, Control K, and uncut text, Control U. Uh, and to save out of here, I'm going to hit Control X to exit. And then it will ask me, do I actually want to save my changes? If I do, I'm going to type yes. And do I want to change it to solid 2? Here's actually a really cool thing. I can say, no, I want to change all my changes. I want to make a new file called text2.text, and do some appends to it or prepends if I want to. So let's go ahead, save file under a different name. Yes, let's go ahead and do that. And now if I ls, I have my text1 and my text2 with a little garbage in it. You can also use these text editing tools to create the files themselves as you're creating it. So for instance, if I wanted to create a new file called newfile.text, I can simply start a new file, with them here, and say at the bottom it says new file. I'm going to type new file and them, and escape :WQ, and if I do ls, there it is. There is my new file.text. So there we are. That's the basics of reading files to the screen and writing and manipulating those files. There's a lot more can be said about VI and Nano. However, we're not going to say them today. Come back next time, and we're going to take a look at some of the other tools that are available natively in the command line that will help us start feeling the power of our machines and introduce us how to put more applications on our machines to do even more things.